Howdy, this is Maximus Confesses here. Yes, I'm going to continue doing this video with this cowboy hat I found. Isn't it stylish? This video is going to be in response to Sextus Empiricus and his claim that free-thinking Christianity is indeed oxymoronic. And I'm one to actually agree with him. And in fact, I'll take it one step further. Philosophical Christianity is indeed oxymoronic as well. For what is philosophy but a pursuit of wisdom? And what is theology but indeed a confession that one indeed has wisdom and molds it into doctrine and dogma? So, with that in mind, why should the philosopher even engage in the Christian? And why should the Christian even engage with the philosopher? Are they not indeed in two separate houses? Fortresses? Locked up? Well, the fortress does indeed have cannons, and the cannons do fire at one another. In fact, because there's a warring discipline that seeks to attack, you want your fortress to be as strong as possible, and there's kind of a dual betterment going on there. Now, of course, this might come easy to the theologian who, of course, utilizes philosophical tool sets. But it does not come about that simply. Indeed, it takes a lot of time for philosophers also improve. And I'm going to show that utilizing two examples from history. The first example is Frege's notion of existence being an existential quantifier. This came about through Kant's battle with Anselm and rethinking of ontology by claiming that existence is not a predicate, such as Anselm would have claimed, but rather it came about by admitting that existence is a necessary precondition for something to have properties and predicates. So there's one example. Another is in the realm of causality. Whereas Aristotelian modes of causality dominated Europe for quite some time through scholastic influences, when it came to the Renaissance, you had people like Galileo, Newton, and even later thinkers such as Malebranche and Descartes, who emphasized God's deterministic and mechanistic ideals of causality, thus making it purely deterministic. And of course, this paved the way to cutting God out of the picture entirely and just having pure mechanistic modes of causality, and soon even a questioning of causality. And this led to some rather interesting scientific innovation that theological considerations had to be applied first and foremost in order to dump Aristotle out of the way. So, yeah, there is an improvement of tool sets to be had, and it keeps both sides on their toes. So, with that in mind, what's the problem? It appears from this discourse that through being dogmatic, Christians purport themselves to be a worthy adversary to keep philosophy on its toes. And of course, philosophers can utilize Christian theological considerations to advance their own ideas, be it Frege, be it through causality, be it through even notions of free will that have been discussed in terms of trying to comport that to God. There is a whole wealth. One of my favorite philosophical treatises was done by Henry Frankfurt on bullshit. And in that one, he quotes extensively from the work of St. Augustine. And Sextus even claimed that my interactions with you have bred me to pursue philosophy, and pursued it to, and of course it made me pursue beefing up my own toolset when dealing with atheists. And likewise, when dealing with Christians, and for you to encourage other people, you yourself take up devil's advocate in order to push your fellow atheist community to improve, especially in the realm of ethics. So, with that in mind, I'd like to purport that we have some agreement, and we have some building blocks, which kind of entail a better outlook. I'd also say that we are more susceptible to doubt than might appear, mostly because we should understand doubt from this point on, not as something we apply skepticism to, or can apply skepticism to, but rather kind of a reflection of biology and humanity's push to know. I think it does hurt humans to not know something. In fact, many people love Christianity because ideas were incomprehensible to them. Granted, there are people who stick despite it, but you're not going to win everybody over. However, if Christianity is false, I have no doubt that it's going to be discarded to the waste bin of failed ideas. And if Christianity is true, well, there is a second coming in store. In any case, there's always a bright side to look at. I also want to purport that my own viewpoints have taken a bit of influence from Leo Strauss, who himself is an atheist. But at the same time, I think that we could both agree this isn't a bad position. Theological discourse should stay in the mix, and of course, theological discourse should push us to interact more often. Now, I know I didn't address the rest of your amazing video, which, again, description bar below, for those of you who are interested. I'd like to say take care, and have a nice day.